So unless you've been living under a rock, you must have heard about Palworld by now, and Palworld has been making absolute waves. They actually just announced their roadmap, so they got a bunch of stuff that they just revealed we're going to cover in just a second, but we're going to catch you up to speed on a couple other things in case you missed some of the other stuff. By the way, if you do enjoy this one, be sure to leave a like, really helps the channel. Subscribe for more, do a variety of gaming content here on the channel, and all the good stuff. And yeah, let's just go ahead and jump straight into this. So first things first, Palworld, they just announced 9 hours ago at the time of recording this, so that's currently the morning of Wednesday, the 24th of January. They announced that it has sold over 7 million copies in just 5 days. That's crazy. That is insane. And keep in mind, it's not on PlayStation, which I think would even boost its numbers further. And it's not on Nintendo Switch, which if the Switch could run it, would boost its numbers even further. It's only on Xbox and it's only on Steam. Now, I don't know if they're considering the Game Pass downloads as sales. That wouldn't really make sense to me because it says it's sold over 7 million copies, but I don't know. I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. But either way, 7 million is massive in 5 days. There's 7 million people playing at the very least, which is crazy to say the very least. Like I said, this game has been making waves. The other thing is someone came out for the Steam version for PC. They came out with a mod that made everything Pokemon. And no, I don't mean like, oh, this looks like Pokemon, haha. No, I mean like it actually made all the pals actual Pokemon from the actual Pokemon series. Like Pikachu looked like Pikachu and so on and so forth. And your character was actually Ash Ketchum, which it was from of course the original Pokemon series. Now it was crazy, but the crazy thing about that is Nintendo quickly shut it down. A lot of people have been wondering, is Nintendo going to say anything about this game? It almost feels like maybe a Pokemon ripoff, like they're ripping off a lot of Pokemon in some ways. At the same, I mean, in one vein, they also did show there was a bunch of stuff that came out. The geometric models of some of these Pokemon are one for one from Scarlet and Violet. So it's almost like they took the models, they copy pasted them, and then just kind of like, messed with their designs. So there's a lot of controversy there, but I mean, nothing so far. Nintendo was asked about this. Hey, what do you think? Are you going to be doing anything? And they had no comment. Nintendo doesn't usually comment on these things, so it'll be interesting to see if Nintendo's going to come out and if they're going to shut this thing down in some way. Do they have any legal grounds? I don't know. Some people think it's not likely. Some people think, possibly. Some of these pals do, resemble, but I think that's kind of the point of this game. It's meant to make you think of these other games. I've seen a lot of, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom influence in this game massively, with the sound effects and with, when you find a new location, different things like that, as well as things like, like the pals. They do look very Pokemon-esque, right? And the pal spheres and everything like that are very Pokemon-esque, but it's also different enough where it might be, legally not, they might have no legal grounds to kind of, do anything about it, because again, although it's heavily influenced, it also seems like it's very much its own thing, right? The best way I can compare what I mean by that is go listen to Avenged Sevenfold's song, This Means War. Go listen to a Metallica's song called Sad But True. Or go listen to Shepherd of Fire by Avenged Sevenfold, and then Metallica's Enter Sandman. I mean, there's heavy influence there where people were accusing of the band of copying them, but it's enough where it's different, right? And I think that's what's going on here in terms of a video game setting, is I think it's different enough, but it's obviously heavily influenced. The main menu music sounds very Final Fantasy-esque as well. So I see multiple different influences that are heavily influenced in this game. It's meant to make you feel like that familiarity, and I think that's what they're going for. But the question is, does it cross the line? Anyways, moving on from that, we got the future of Palworld. So if you've been enjoying Palworld, if you're one of these 7 million people, then this is the future that you can look forward to. There's a massive Twitter post, but they also have a sort of like JPEG roadmap as well that they threw with it, that's kind of puts it into point format. So I'll throw the JPEG version up on screen, the image, so you can see that, but I'm going to read through the actual tweet itself. So they said that we would like to share with you our roadmap for Palworld. Sales have far exceeded the development team's expectations. We are currently experiencing many problems due to excessive access, congestion, and among other challenges. We will prioritize improving this issue first and then move on to implementing new in-game features. Thank you for understanding. Then he said the early access roadmap is as follows. Addressing critical issues. There's currently numerous bugs that have been identified. They are prioritizing fixing those. Sometimes the world date may experience rollbacks. The loading screen may persist when trying to load into worlds and so on. They said improvements to implement ASAP, which includes key configuration improvements, improvements to base PAL AI and pathing, and then planned future updates involves PvP, which is very interesting. Raid bosses, so that's going to be like end game content, right? PAL Arena, so PvP for PALs, which is going to be super cool to see as well. They want to add some Steam Xbox crossplay. I do wonder if they're ever going to bring this game to other consoles, but anyways, Steam Xbox crossplay, various Xbox feature improvements, server transfer and migrations, which is very interesting as well. Which I wonder if that's going to include just being able to, like, if it's just a transfer, like a permanent transfer, or if it's like, oh, if I want to go into like a co-op game, I could bring my current character that I have in my solo server into a co-op server and so forth. I hope that's what it includes. And they also said improvements to the building system. It is pretty wonky, I'll be honest. And then they said new islands, new pals, new bosses, new technology. So they're planning to expand this even further. And if they play their cards right, this could be a game that potentially lasts for a very, very long time. In my opinion, I think this could be something that meshes the great aspects of Minecraft with the great aspects of like something like Final Fantasy 14 Online. If they can successfully combine the two of those things, I think they can have a massive game, even more than what they already have on their hands, because the game is already massive, right? But again, what if you kind of make this sort of like, you add sort of, it's very survival, but you add sort of like an MMO sort of kind of element like Final Fantasy 14, which they're already kind of hinting at, and to at least some extent, right? We've got raid bosses for endgame content that they want to add. They want to add some PvP stuff. What if PvP is not just player versus player, but more player with player, like co-op? Like we do have co-op right now, right? But I mean, beyond that scope, right? Just to a bigger, again, I'm thinking Final Fantasy 14, right? I'm thinking like take Final Fantasy 14, which again, I highly believe that, you know, there's a lot of influence from Final Fantasy as well. I think it's Pokemon, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, because it's basically, you know, similar world. And then Final Fantasy 14 Online. I think those three games are in here as kind of like a mashup. So I wonder, you know, Final Fantasy 14, kind of more like, you know, that vein of things, make it even deeper and even bigger in that sense. But again, the survival aspects of, like, if you're playing, like, let's say Minecraft or something, the survival mode of Minecraft, which again, Minecraft is still going strong. So again, this could be a game, if they play their cards right, they can really have a massive game that lasts for a long time, right? Because right now, this is the fear, right? The fear is like, okay, there's a lot of hype behind this game, but what about in a month or two? Is it going to die down? A couple months? You know, just they gotta capture that momentum, and that can be very tricky. So all the best to the devs in that vein of things, and hopefully they continue kind of, you know, making it bigger and better, because the game is very interesting. It is very interesting, and it is highly addicting. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this one, leave a like, subscribe for more. Again, we do variety gaming content, talk about the games, play the games here on the channel. Yeah, we got a couple, you know, gameplay videos already up at Palworld, just kind of going through the world myself, exploring it, and just kind of making it a fun little series alongside here on the channel. So keep it locked for more if you're into Nintendo content, since you might be into it, since you're into Palworld, which is very Nintendo-esque. Check out my Nintendo channel, JSkeleton's Nintendo World. Links down in the description below. We do everything Nintendo on that channel: news, guides, walkthroughs, gameplays. I mean, you name it, we got it over there. It's a lot of fun over there as well. So check that out. Thanks for watching, and until the next one, game on. We'll see you guys soon. Hey you! What are you doing? Join the Skeleton Army! Do it today! Don't wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow might never come. The Earth is gonna fade, that's inevitable. The next second of your life's not even promised, so you better think about where you're going, and you might as well just join the Skeleton Army. Plus, we do kind of like you a little bit, so it'd be nice to see you around here. But if you don't want to, hey, your loss. See you later.